What's up, YouTube? This is Swad from Hebrew Legends, bringing you guys a few war replays today. We've had a number of wars that I have not put on the YouTube channel yet, in which I think I'm actually not going to put. I'm a little behind, and in an effort to catch up, I'm going to drop a few of these, but give a quick description about what the war was like, just for record's sake. Iron Fist, this was the last war that I haven't put up there. This was a war where we faced off 25 against 25 against 22 Town Hall 10s. A lot of them, as you can imagine, were preemie defenses, not terribly high infernos, not terribly high heroes. And as you can see right here, we ended up with almost a perfect war. 2 stars away. Had a lot of good Town Hall 9 against Town Hall 10 attacks. Most of them were against poor bases, but an awesome feat nonetheless. So kind of sad those replays got wiped, but you know, it is what it is. I took too long, so my fault. The second war I'm not going to show is just this last war against an Asian clan. It was a fine war. I mean, we used, I think we only had, it was a 20 on 20. And we had a number of players that were new and a number of players that are a few of our veterans that just had both heroes down or needed a break before a war we had set up recently. And so it was kind of a mismatched war and a hodgepodge of players on Hebrew Legends' part, and wasn't a great war for anybody involved, and not a ton of great attacks. A few great Town Hall 10 attacks that I could show, but they're the same old people. So in an effort to try to see some new stuff, I'm just going to ignore that war as well. Which brings us to our last war just a day ago. It ended against Israel Wars. This was a much anticipated war from both players both sets of players in both clans, because we've been trying to match up Hebrew Legends and Israel Wars for a number of weeks now, and the first time we tried to match up, we ended up matching with different clans that were, you know, weirdly close to our numbers as well. Which was frustrating, and the next time we could actually try to match up together and had our war schedules set up together in cohesion was just a couple days ago. So we finally got a war against them, and we ended up out on top, as you can see, won by 14. They had some great attacks, some really good attackers, had a couple 3-stars on our Town Hall 10s, which is really cool to watch. Fun to watch our own guys get beat down every now and again. Roy's a 9.5, so I won't really count that one, but they had at least 2 great attacks there on Cliff and Almog. Number of our Town Hall 9s got 3-starred, but you can see the majority 2 stars. Weren't able to clean up most of them. We had 5 attacks left over, which is a little misleading. All of their Town Hall 9s got 3-starred very early on. Our Town Hall 9s had a great war, and most of them got 3-starred early on, and people just, you know, kind of end of the year stuff, people are starting to be really busy, so instead of getting a practice attack in, a couple of the guys just were like, I'm not even going to worry about attacking because we have this war in hand. So it's a little unusual for us, but it was okay because we were up pretty big near the end and it didn't bother us too much. Let's get to some replays. Enough recap. Let's watch Orel, one of our leaders on there, number 3. This is just a great attack. I love Town Hall 10 hogs, as I'm sure you've noticed based on this channel. This base is pretty interesting, I guess. That's the word I'll use when I don't know what else to say about it. I don't have anything good to say about it. All 3 Expos, both Infernos, both Heroes, are all right near this one area. So what Orel is going to do is just bring in 4 golems, a few wall breakers to get him in, Wizzies to clean some trash, and he's just going to break into that compartment and just try to take out as much as he can. Both Infernos ideally, both Heroes ideally, maybe even an Expo or two. And then he is just going to hog the rest of the base. You can see he's only brought 2 spells for his kind of kill squad here. He's going to get the lure and take care of the CC as well. He brought 3 heals for his hogs, just a rage and a lightning. Lightning for the CC troops, per usual. And early on, I mean, it's only a minute into the raid, but both Infernos are gone. 2 out of the 3 Expos. He drops a couple Giants as distractions, and then here come the Hogs. And with 3 heal spells and 2 Giant Bombs gone, and no Giant, well, 1 double Giant Bomb position on the rest of the map, but the pathing doesn't make sense. This is like a Town Hall 9 raid at this point. He effectively made it like a shattered GoHo at Town Hall 9. Like, it's the same exact strategy. He pushed his hogs together through the core, and they're going to come all the way back around and end by all of these high health buildings. Just a great attack. Great attack. He even has a queen left over. Not a lot of HP, but it's great. And he's got a bunch of hogs left. 6 to 8 hogs, and even has a giant up over here still. Which is not always a great thing, but in this case it's just indicative of the fact that he wrecked the base. Nice job, Orel. I actually want to make a note that Roy also 3-starred their number 7, who had a very similar base, a little lower leveled, with almost an identical strategy. So Roy did the same thing and came in with 4 golems. I won't show the replay because I don't want to. It's pretty much the same attack on the same base, and I don't want to bore you guys, but brought in the same 4 golems. But he noticed that the path that Orel's hogs took was kind of redundant and ended up, you know, a few of them went over here and then doubled back. So he just sent his hogs in right here, and they pathed around together and ended up in the same spot, basically. And he was able to get them along the way with, you know, heals that landed on all of them at the same time, which was awesome. So, you know, Orel wrecked that base, which was higher level. Royce doesn't have as high level defenses to worry about in this one, but he also doesn't have as high level troops. So, you know, Orel ended up with like 6 to 8 hogs at the end, and Roy had like 15. So, always like to see them even perfecting each other's attacks, which is pretty cool. Nice job, fellas. Let's go to Ofek's attack next. He hit their number 10, a similarly named fellow. This is a popular base. It's one of those troopers, clash heads bases, I think. It's not a bad base. It's just not a great base. Surgical hogging has kind of made this base obsolete, and that's exactly what Ofek does in just about 2 minutes as well. So quite swiftly. Golems, wizards, bombers, queen. As soon as he gets the lure, he'll drop the king. Just your typical shattered anything strategy these days. He's going to lightning the CC. He's brought 2 heals for his hogs. I'm going to fast forward through this a little bit. One thing he doesn't actually get the witch. He doesn't actually lightning her. He kind of lightnings near her, which doesn't mess him up because he's got so many wizards, both heroes and golems still up in there. So, but here come the hogs. Giants just kind of sent around with hogs directed everywhere. Just a swarm of hogs. And as they start stepping up into this second layer, he's going to have heals waiting on them in a group. These ones, he loses a couple here, but they end up in the heal anyway. These trip, you know, he must not have had any double giant bombs on this base, which is crazy. I have no idea where the bombs were. This was the first attack, and Ofek just destroyed it. Man, where were the bombs? Weird. Well, that's what's going to happen. You're going to end up with 15 or so hogs. Oh, there they are, right at the end. Yeah, so no doubles. So could have hogged it, just straight up hogged it, but, you know, first attack, he doesn't know. And a surgical hog probably defeated the base quicker than even a regular hog would. So, great attack, man. A surgical hog, that's kind of like the new LaLoon, it seems to me. That's the kind of typical base we're seeing more and more. I'll show it again here. The spread clash head trooper bases, I call them, that are just point defenses are kind of spread out. Lots of double giant bomb positions, although this guy obviously didn't have any double giant bombs, but it's interesting to see the kind of dialectic that occurs between base builders and attack kind of tacticians, so to speak, because, you know, you have a set of bases that seem to be working particularly well. Equidistant air defenses, centralized heroes, clan castle, all that stuff. Spread point defenses, lots of double giant bomb positions. But then you get an attack like surgical hogs that someone develops to specifically attack this kind of base, and then the base becomes relatively worthless. So the same thing happened when Hulk invented Holo, or when Rex started GoHo. When LaLoon came out, other base designs got destroyed. Anything with air defenses near each other got then destroyed by Shattered. So it'll be interesting to see what the next base design is that attempts to defend against surgical hogs. Very interesting. Let's look at one more. Let's look at one more. What do we want to watch here? Let's look at Orel on 13. Or I'm sorry, Orel on 12. He is our 13. This is another one of those spread type bases that are oh so popular. But this is a Shattered LaLoon. His hopeful targets here. And it looks like he's probably going to get him. I don't think I've seen this replay, actually. But worth showing. Orel's always bringing good attacks. Shatter down, Wizzies go behind. Jump spell, and then the lightning right near the witch. Does he get the witch? He does. Those lightnings can be sketchy sometimes. And the queen off doing her thing. I'm sure she'll hit some walls here in a minute. Which is, of course, always to be hoped for. King got this air defense. These golems take out this one. And there's the queen. Getting those walls. Doing work. Looks like all 3 hounds are going to come in at once. Which I actually like. Defends against any Teslas like this. Good job not stacking the rages, getting full use of both of them. One set of loons travel through, and the other one will bounce around. Plenty of loons on the back end. 6 loons on the back end. This Tesla messed him up a little bit, but he's got so many loons left over and a lava hound that, I mean, he just wrecked this base. I don't know how quick he did this. I'm going to have to go look at the time. Because look at all those loons. So many pups, goblins, archers still running around. Man, nice attack, Orel. Yeah, 2 minutes, so just over 2 minutes. Well done. Shattered LaLoon. It's not done yet, apparently. Anyway, guys, congrats to the guys at Hebrew Legends for bringing a great war. We left one Town Hall 10 open. That happens from time to time. Our Town Hall 10s had a bit of an off war this war, which is a little atypical for us. But, hey, cheers to Israel Wars. You guys brought it. Had all your attacks in pretty much. Had some difficult bases that took a few tries to 3-star. And it was a lot of fun warring with you guys. Hope we'll get a rematch in here in a little bit. And cheers to your attackers who brought 3 stars on their own. Really good stuff. Anyway, guys, I'll bring a couple more videos here while I got some time, but until then, this is Swide from Hebrew Legends. You guys have a good one.